All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are talking Cincinnati Bengals rookie defensive lineman Kris Jenkins. Jenkins is getting better and better and better, doing some things in the pass rush game, solid in run defense, bright future for this young player. We'll break down everything that he's doing so far. As always, if you appreciate this content, give us a like, give us any comments with any feedback you might have. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, we're going to open up with a pass rush. There's Jenkins right there, lined up in what we're going to call a 3 technique on the outside shoulder of the Browns left guard right there. You can see we've got Hendrickson way over here right on the edge of your screen. He's lined up, and we'll call that a wide 9 technique. There's a tight end split out really wide right there. That's Njoku, Hendrickson outside of him. What the Cleveland Browns are going to do here is they're going to take their offensive line, their center, right guard, and right tackle, and slide to protection to the offensive right. What that means is the center is going to take this gap right here, the A gap. The right guard's going to take that gap, and the right tackle is going to take that gap. Basically, one-on-one right here against this edge defender with some inside help. Now, what does it mean for the left side of the Cleveland Browns offensive line? It means 75 is one-on-one on Jenkins, and the left tackle is one-on-one on Hendrickson. When you get a one-on-one opportunity like this as a defensive lineman in a pass rush situation, you got to take advantage of it. That's what Jenkins does. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see the offensive line for the Browns slide to the right, one-on-one on the backside with the left guard and left tackle. Let's watch Jenkins here. Get up the field, uses his hand right into the guard's chest, walks him back, comes off, makes a sack. That's how it's done, folks. This is quality 3 technique play. Nothing fancy, nothing funky, no, spin moves or trying to do any clubs or fancy swim stuff. Just play bully ball. Just beat people up physically. Let's do that. Let's do more of this, right? Let's not get all cute with it on defense. The Bengals get a little cute sometimes, I feel like, with some of their guys. Kris Jenkins, he is a tough physical dude. I love the fact he threatens right here vertically a little bit and then goes right into his chest. Speed to power. That's normally an edge rusher kind of move, but it works for Jenkins here. Walks the guard back and then comes off and makes a play. Nice rep. All right, from the wide copy, you can watch Jenkins fire off, then drive that offensive lineman back. And this is what having Jenkins pair with Hendrickson on the same side will do. So this is obviously 91. He's a great player, but he beats the tackle here, gets around him, but he's a little late to it. Quarterback's already stepping up in the pocket. When you've got Jenkins pushing the pocket, quarterback stepped up because he thinks Hendrickson's coming, you get sacks like this. And this is what the future's going to be, right? With teams now going up against Jenkins and Hendricks on the same side, if they think Jenkins is going to get pressure like this, quarterback's going to stay deep, which means 91 gets even more sacks. Team defense will win for the Bengals going forward because of plays like this. All right, next play here, there's Jenkins right here, lined up in the A gap just like this. I want to call him a 1 technique on the outside shoulder of the center right there, even though he's a little offset, really just a true A gap defender here. The Browns are going to do a play action. They're going to try and still zone to the offensive left, the right side of your screen. So everyone's going to be working this way, working this way, working this way, working this way. This guard here is going to try and reach and work this way to force Jenkins to run that way. We're going to get a play action this way and then settle in the pocket for the quarterback and try and throw the football down the field. Jenkins right here, again, his responsibility early on, he thinks it's run. He's going to flow this way. And then once he sees it's actually a pass, he's going to double back and try and make the play. Not very many people make the play here in the situation. It's just tough as an interior defensive lineman. But right here, Jenkins shows great effort. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see the play action. Sell in the pocket right there. Again, you can see where the interior defensive linemen are. Jenkins in 92. They think it's zone, so they have to run to the right side of your screen, the offensive left, to try and defend the run. Now Jenkins recognizes the pass, comes off, hustle, 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 make the sack. Look, I say it all the time, right? So much of interior play, whether it's offensive and defensive line, is about effort. It's about want to. Obviously, you got to do your assignment. You got to do your job. In the first few steps here, Jenkins does his job, right? Thinks it may be zone. He does a good job taking on the center, making sure he doesn't get to the next level, is in his gap right here. That's good enough. Then right here, once it knows it's a pass, now it's about effort. Now it's about want to. And this is want to from number 90. Look, this Bengals defense all season long has been terrible, to be totally honest. There's only a few guys that are playing with elite effort. 91's definitely one of those guys. But Jenkins, more and more, showing it, right? Again, does his job, recognizes pass, makes the play. Love it from number 90.
Yeah, Nick, and this is a game in particular that Jenkins really stepped up his pass rush performance. Second highest graded game of the season for him with that 68.2 pass rush grade. And you can see it in the stats too. Sometimes these guys, they just do the performance on the field, they get a high grade, but he backed it up with stats as well. Got 3 total pressures, turning 2 of those into sacks. Really converted on a lot of stuff in this game. I think it was really, really great game for him against a Browns team who they have some players on their offensive line, some decent guys. In a divisional game, you want to see a guy go out here and put up numbers. Great game by Jenkins.
All right, let's go with some run defense. There's Jenkins right there. Again, lined up in, I'll call that a 2-eye on the inside shoulder right there of the guard, even though once again, he's kind of an A-gap player. So here the Bengals up front, they're going to do a gap responsibility swap. So you can see by alignment, just going across the board, this defense lineman's got this gap, this linebacker's got this gap, Jenkins is lined up in this gap, and 59's got this gap by alignment. What the Bengals do here, and it's fairly common in the NFL and really college does it too, is they have defensive lineman and linebackers swap gap assignment. So what happens is Jenkins is going to take this gap at the snap while 59 fires in here just like that. Basically, it's designed schemes like that to blow up the running play because you're trying to hit this if you're going to run inside zone. By having this defensive lineman jump out and this linebacker fire right here, you're hoping that the running back cuts right into the linebacker. Sometimes that what can happen, though, unfortunately, is that when you jump outside, you get too much width. And then when the linebacker comes in, the running back's able to split it. So that falls on the defensive lineman here to do a great job maintaining his assignment. Jenkins does it perfect here. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see Jenkins jump outside. You can see 59 fire. Right there, there's a chance for this play to work. But the thing is, Jenkins does a great job restricting the hole. So he bounces into the B gap. See right there how he has his feet parallel to line of scrimmage, his arm extended. He forces his guard's butt in the hole right there and basically creates a massive humanity. Because right here, 34, if you go back to the very beginning, what 34 is looking for is he sees 59 fly inside. He wants to either cut up behind it right here or try and work right off the block right here, falling 65. The problem is because Jenkins has secured the speed gap and basically created a massive humanity restricting the hole, 34 can do nothing but run into his own guys, ends up being a limited gain. Again, plays like this don't show up on the stat sheet, but this is just good run defense, good team defense right here. Maintain your gap, perfect technique, great base, arm extended. Running back, if he tried to bounce it, there'd be nowhere to go. If he has no choice but to duck it up inside in this massive humanity, Jenkins ends up swallowing it up and being part of the play as well. Love this from 90. All right, from the wide copy, watch Jenkins jump outside of the B gap, and then right there, that's perfect. You're talking about maintaining your gap responsibility, but also restricting the hole. There's nowhere the running back can go, right? He has to duck up inside where all the Bengals are. They got him surrounded. Great rep up front. All right, the last rep was really good team defense by the Bengals. This one, Cincinnati fans, you may want to look away because this is pretty ugly. So what the Browns do here, they're faking an outside zone or sweep that direction, and they're going to pull the backside guard and backside tackle looping around just like this and run quarterback run this way. How it's going to look like up front is we're going to get a double team right here, working up to the backside. We're going to get back blocks here, guard kicking out Hendrickson, and again, this backside tackle, he's going to loop around trying to pick up whatever linebacker shows. So, and you have this running back motion right here to hold this defensive end right here on the backside. And then you can, of course, have the quarterback run, like I said. Now, look, Jenkins here, he's in a tough position. This is his one weak part of his game. He's bad against double teams. He actually does a really good job here, holding his ground, making sure they don't get a lot of movement, making sure the guard doesn't get up to the next level. Jenkins does his job here, but folks, I don't know if it's a linebacker play or safety play or whatever, but this is disastrous at the second level. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see the fake outside run, quarterback run, and he runs for a pretty big play. Let's go back to the very beginning and check this out across the board. Let's look at this double team. So, all right, we have here the left tackle, left guard, double teaming Jenkins. Jenkins does a good job, hands on both, doesn't give up any ground. 75 can't get up to the next level. That's a solid job by Jenkins, right? And he actually ends up coming off right here and almost making the play. That's not bad as a double team block right here. Again, he's got two guys on him, doesn't give up much movement, holds his ground, ends up coming off and almost making the play. Here's what I don't get. I don't understand whose assignment is who. I'm not going to blame anybody. I don't know what the scheme call was or any of that. But you can see 59 flies outside to the running back. And you can see right here, 27, the safety replaces him in the box. I don't know what 57's doing here. He's caught in the trash, and it ends up being a huge play. Who has this gap? Who has this responsibility? I don't really know, right? It just doesn't make sense to me. There has to be someone playing this quarterback run, playing the run back that direction. I guess it's 57, but I really don't know what the call is. But whoever it was, this is just terrible, right? Because this guard, this pulling tackle, didn't need to block anybody, right? Right here, this tackle could have not been there, and it's still going to be a huge run. This is just bad defense on the second level. Now, look, Jenkins here, he does a good job. I like this. So we're going to show a play that he needs to work on. But overall, this is a solid job playing the double team by number 90.
Yeah, Nick, and while Jenkins does do a solid job here, I'd say if I could give one critique for him in particular, it would be more consistent in his run defense. He did okay here. It's a 51 grade, 51.3 grade per PFF, which is mediocre at best. So not too bad, but he's had some really dominant games. He's had multiple games in the mid to high 70s. I want to see him replicate those games and not have so much inconsistency in the run defense. He's inconsistent in the pass defense, but he's very steady and then he has a couple of higher games. So I love what he's doing there. He's building. Where in the run defense game, he's just all over the place. I think this game was okay. I think he can do a whole lot better, but I'm excited to see what else he can do probably coming into next season as this season rolls to close.
All right, let's talk about a pass rush. We're dealing with the Jenkins right there in a wide three technique and Hendrickson duo. Folks, this is going to be powerful going into the future. So what the Bengals do here is they have Jenkins. He's lined up wide. He actually forces into 65 right here. And the goal is to pick 65, pull 75 this direction to block him, and then loop Hendrickson around like this, basically where he ends up one-on-one on a center. That's a mismatch. And Hendrickson does what he does very well, make quarterbacks' lives quite miserable. Now with the Browns, they understand that's what Hendrickson does very well too, and they actually have 75 and 55 not take the cheese, and they pick up Hendrickson coming around. What does it mean? It means Jenkins is now one-on-one with inside leverage against the left tackle. He gets a nice pressure. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see Jenkins firing to left tackle, Hendrickson looping around. 75 and 55, their eyes are all over Hendrickson. They got that picked up. But here you can see Jenkins at the left side of your screen, firing to 65, walking back, come off, pressure on the quarterback. Ball has to get out, ends up being an incomplete pass. Again, good job right here by number 90. Paired with Hendrickson, these two dynamic duo on the same side. They can do special things. Talk about more consistency across the board, run defense, pass rush. We're starting to see it from Jenkins, right? And now I look, it's the Browns. They have some issues offensively, but these are still NFL linemen, right? This is still NFL schemes, and Jenkins is starting to execute at a really high level. I mean, it's not perfect, right? There's some things technically to clean up, but overall, really solid effort from Jenkins here, becoming quite the formidable player in the pass rush game. All right, from the wide copy, watch Jenkins fire off into the tackle, then come off, pressure on the quarterback right in his face. Not incomplete, I'm sorry, a short gain there. I said incomplete when I was talking about it from the all 22. Basically no gain, so effect is still the same. But again, it all starts getting pressure. All eyes on Hendrickson. Jenkins takes advantage of the one-on-one opportunity. Limited gain for the Browns offense. All right, let's talk about something Jenkins needs to do better consistently. And there he is right there, line up it as a two-eye technique in this A gap. It's going to be just a standard kind of inside zone concept here for the Cleveland Browns. Right tackle, base blocking the defensive end. We're going to get reach block there, zone double team here, working on to the next level. Here is so critical for Jenkins. You got to hold your ground and try and make sure this guy can't get up to the linebacker. If he does, you're in position to blow the play up. Jenkins does a poor job in this double team. Let's see what he does here. All right, there's a snap. You can see the double team and watch that. Oh, he gets walked back. That's not great. Let's watch Jenkins' foot here. You can see 77 throws hip into him. Boom. Look at Jenkins. He's flailing all over the place. Walk back. Look at that dent in the defense at the point of attack. That ain't going to get it done. And this is Jenkins' biggest weakness. He's so inconsistent playing these double teams. And now, look, guys, it's hard, right? Double team blocks against NFL linemen is pretty hard. Like, this isn't easy stuff. But if you're going to be a consistently quality every down interior defensive lineman, you got to do a little bit better than this. And at times, he does, right? We saw it earlier, this cut up sequence when he was dealing with the double team with the other offensive lineman. But right here, Teller, good player, right? Comes into him, delivers a punch. He goes flying. He needs to do a better job not giving up ground, maintaining his gap. This is something he needs to work on.
Yeah, Nick, and he can work on some stuff, but one bright spot for Kris Jenkins here is him playing clean football. He's done that very well this season. 0 penalties for the young rookie. That's very impressive. We see a lot of guys come in here early on, being a little bit aggressive, grabbing too much jersey, grabbing a face mask, jumping off sides. There's a lot of things that can go wrong, especially as a defensive lineman. But Jenkins not doing any of those things. Absolutely 0 penalties for him the entire season so far. Very impressive by this young rookie.
All right, let's end on one of my favorite plays the entire game for this Bengals defense. Look, you can see Jenkins right there lined up in the B gap. Again, goal line. You can see the Bengals right here lined up. So many people stacking the line of scrimmage. It's down at the 1 yard line. The Browns are just going to run a standard cookie cutter play. They're going to bring the tight end in motion right here to kick out the in man on line of scrimmage. They're going to get down block, down block, down block, down block, base less reach block, pull the guard around to clean up some trash. Fullback leads through the hole, running back follows, right? Really tough to stop at the goal line. The Bengals do a great job, but one of the things that really jumped out to me was Jenkins right here, the way he reset the line of scrimmage, driving his guy back. It didn't go noticed because the play was going away from him, but I think it's a good sign for the future. Let's check it out. There's the motion. There's a snap. We can see the down blocks, tight end kicking out, fullback coming through, and this play is blown up. He doesn't get in there, actually. He fumbles. Bengals recover. Huge early play. Let's watch Jenkins, though, right here. Again, it is so critical. All these offensive linemen, their goal here is to not give up any penetration. You can see them, right? They're firing off low and hard, just trying to drive people on the ground and hold the line of scrimmage, wash them down. Jenkins here, his responsibility is this gap. Watch what he does. He fires into his gap and throws this lineman back 2 yards, resetting the line of scrimmage. Again, it doesn't really go notice because the play's going away from him, but I tell you what, that's good stuff. We talk about him needing to do better in the against the double team. This right here, one-on-one block right here, walking this tackle back, resetting the new line of scrimmage. That doesn't go unnoticed because sometimes we do see these running backs, they like to cut back if there's a lot of trash linebacker flowing there. The running back has no chance to cut back because of Jenkins 90 right there, 93 right there, doing a good job. Again, good job across the board. The Bengals getting penetration, holding their ground. Starts with Jenkins, of course, on the backside, doing some good work. Across the board, though, this is good team defense here for the Cincinnati Bengals. They're still inconsistent up front, but they've gotten a lot better, and a big part of that is Kris Jenkins. All right, from the wide copy, you can get a good look right here, that penetration. Look at that new line of scrimmage that's set. Again, the ball is at the 1 yard line just inside. Jenkins right here, he starts with his hands in the end zone. He ends up driving this guy back, what, 1.5 yards? That's great. Look at that. Look where the line of scrimmage is for the rest of the Browns and Bengals linemen right at the goal line. Look where Jenkins has his guy walk back. The deepest penetration out of anybody. Love this from number 90. Bright future for this player.